with a health update on a star and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report.
Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video.
Praising recent WWE main roster call-up Bron Breakker, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash noted on his Click This podcast, he ran in the NFL. He was a running back at, I think, Kennesaw State University, and if I'm not mistaken, he ran like a 4.23 40-yard dash or something like that, and he's a big kid. I talked to him, and I talked to Rick Steiner, his father, and Rick wanted him to because he was going to Baltimore as a free agent. I called Triple H and I said, we got a Steiner that runs a 4.23. He's impressive. I've known him forever. My son played with him when they were little kids, so I'm apprehensive because I'm like, he's one of my good friend's kids. I've known him forever. But it's like, forget that, man. He's a stud. Him getting in Adam Pearce's face saying, why wasn't I in King of the Ring? I'm like, yeah, why wasn't he in King of the Ring? This was also said regarding the backstage reception to Bron Breakker's current run on the main roster, as Fightful Select reported. No big surprises here, but sources we spoke to within WWE were very happy with Bron Breakker's performance and Adam Pearce's interactions with him. Addressing the possibility of one final match in pro wrestling, commentator for AEW Taz said this in a response to a user on X. I'm 56 years old. I need both shoulders replaced and both knees replaced, so there is no shot at all. Also, I had/have zero desire for one last match for many years. No interest at all once I left the ring years ago. I've been completely comfortable and happy about it. Back then, I focused moving on to my next career at the announce desk. Recalling how she felt leading up to her debut on NXT TNA Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace said this to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. I've been going back and forth about this with myself. I have to tell myself, don't do anything new. What you do is obviously what you know the best. Don't go out there and try to do a shooting star press and break your neck. You don't have to do anything new. What you do currently got you here, and that's what you do and know best. I have to train my brain. You don't have to go out here and do anything insane that you've never done before. A lot of these people have not seen me wrestle before, so you can wrestle the exact same way. Hopefully, there are more people that will appreciate it. The biggest thing for me is that I know that WWE and TNA are putting a lot of stock into me to do well. I feel like if I do badly, this could be cataclysmic. It could potentially end the partnership if I do so badly. Well, we're never doing that again. We're never taking a chance doing that again. It's a lot of pressure. I'm not going into it getting away from any other match. What I learned at the Rumble is no matter where it is or who it is in front of, it's still a wrestling ring, and that's what I've been doing my whole life. Reacting to being attacked by new signee to NXT Ethan Page, NXT champion Trick Williams told the Masked Man show, I feel kind of conflicted about the whole situation. A piece of me feels like, we just talked about how hard we work for a long time here to build NXT where it is. You can see it's showing. Because we got people jumping from every which way, trying to jump their way to the top title, and humbly, I say, it took me a long time to get my opportunity to get a shot at this title right here. So we got people skipping the line, trying to get straight to the top, and let me say something about that. Nobody just asks for a title shot these days. I get jumped every other week. I ain't running from no challenge, you know what I mean? All you gotta do is, hey man, I want a title shot. Hey look, let's make it happen. Why are we jumping everybody every single single week. Up to this point, every challenger I've had, I really watched and studied them. I've seen them do their thing on multiple occasions. If we're talking about Ilya Dragunov, we're talking about Carmelo Hayes, we're talking about Bron Breakker. As I look around now, all those guys are gone. I feel like the last episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Ethan Page come out, and I'm familiar somewhat with his work. I know he's efficient in the ring, but now I really gotta study, gotta get back in the lab. To be honest with you, I'm excited for the opportunity to show the people what I'm about, and with a brand new opponent with Ethan Page, and I hope he's ready for what he asked for, because I'm gonna bring it. Asked if the Big Show ever attempted to bully him backstage in WWE, Ken Shamrock said this to Steve Fall of Ringside News. No, that was all in fun, you know. He came up behind me, he grabbed me. We all had our wives and kids and everything, and we were in this green room just socializing. He came up behind me, grabbed me, and playing around. I said, "What are you gonna do? What are you going to do now?" And I basically just kind of dropped, went limp, put him in a heel hook, and he tapped. He screamed. But again, like I said, that wasn't fun. It's not like he came up and tried to squeeze the air out of me and hurt me. He came up playing around, and then I just caught him off guard. Speaking about the management of WWE today, Randy Orton told Sportskeeda Wrestling, "All the opportunities Vince McMahon gave me, it's nice having him out of there, and it's nice having his son-in-law Triple H running the game. Nick Khan's great. Everybody in TKO that's come in, stepped in, they seem to get it, and it's just a different era." For the reaction to the match on Raw last night between Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, Sean Rossap of Fightful Select said that Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser got a lot of praise based on those we spoke to backstage. Asked how long he wants to continue wrestling, AEW star Christian Cage told Chris Van Vliet on Insight, "I always said that I would do it till it wasn't fun, and that was my barometer on it, so how can I not be having fun right now? It's still fun. It's still fun. I have no timeline. I signed a contract. I think I have another 3 years left on this contract, so we'll get to the end of that and then see what happens, but you know, I feel like I have a lot of knowledge. I don't know everything, but I know a lot, and I feel like I think about the business differently, and I lay out matches, and I see matches differently than other people do. I would like to, at some point, when the time is right, to obviously give back to the business that has done what it's done for me." Asked about his promos in AEW, Christian Cage said in that same interview, "I've never told anybody what I'm gonna say. Never had it cleared with anybody. I've never asked anybody. I just go out there and do it. It's one of those things. You have to be willing to go places that others are unwilling to go in order to stand out, especially in this day and age. I saw an opportunity that I could jump on, I took it, and I wrote it. And sometimes things happen you're not expecting to happen. I said one phrase and it turned into a wildfire. I just embraced it and ran with it." Cage would also address the comments he tends to make in promos regarding the deceased fathers of other stars. "Yeah, like I said, I don't even know how this happened. It just did. It's like when a shark senses blood in the water, you attack it. So that's what happened. I saw an opportunity in that and I attacked it. Like I said, the only way to stand out to me in this day and age is to be different. And it's hard to be different when a lot of things have been done or are being done. And it's very much a copycat business. If something's working, you see people start to do it. I'm seeing the influence that a lot of characters, not just on our show, but on other shows as well. So when that happens, you start saying, okay, what I'm doing is working here." After suffering a fractured tibia during his match against Malachi Black at the AEW Double or Nothing event, Adam Copeland gave an update, posting this video to Instagram.
For those about to knock. Okay, first morning post-surgery, and I wanted to see what I could pull off. And there's probably a few things, but there's definitely one thing I know I can pull off. So right now I'm about to walk through the forbidden door. Since I can't walk through the forbidden door of the pay-per-view and face someone from New Japan Pro Wrestling, I can walk through, if I can open the door, there it is, the forbidden door of the gym. So here goes, folks. I'm going to show you what I can do 12 hours out of surgery. I can plank. So now I'm about to do some single leg planks. Check it out. Doesn't matter what you got done. Well, I mean, I guess in some instances it might, but the handles come in very handy here because they're causing me not to slide at all. So I can truly focus on engaging my core, keeping a straight line, and work the rest of my body, even though I'm just out of surgery. So we finally got the new shipment in. So we're back in business, everybody. All right? I'm already starting to lose my breath and get shaky.
Talking about his desire to sign the Motor City Machine Guns to AEW, president of the company, Tony Khan, told CBS Sports, "I can't say that for sure. I thought they were excellent here in 2022 when they appeared at All Out. That worked out really well. They were tremendous and they added a lot to the card. I loved having them here. Originally, that spot was intended for the Briscoes. I was not able to use the Briscoes. I was not permitted to use the Briscoes in that situation. I think it would have been great, but Motor City Machine Guns came in and really helped us at that time, being a part of the show when there was a spot that was intended for another great tag team. In my opinion, maybe the greatest tag team ever, the Briscoes. You needed somebody really strong, somebody very good to come in and help us, and that's where the Motor City Machine Guns did come in about 2 years ago and were a big part of All Out 22 and would love to have them back here anytime. I think they're both great." Issuing a challenge to Ilya Dragunov on Raw Talk, Bron Breakker said, "Look, tonight I had to make an example out of Ricochet, not only to Adam Pearce, but to the world, because this is what happens when you do stupid things. Like Pat McAfee puts it all the time, like a bold stooge that is Adam Pearce for not putting me in the King of the Ring tournament." Now, as far as Ilya Dragunov goes for attacking me after the match a couple weeks ago, Ilya, you said that I was the golden child. That is not the definition of intensity. Well, I gotta give it to you. You're one of the best performers in the world, but me being the golden child isn't any more intense than you fake yelling into the camera every week and holding your breath until your face turns purple. Now, why don't you do yourself a favor this week? Go home, get with your little diet coach, 190 pounds, eat your Wheaties, do your little one-arm push-ups, and the rest of your stupid lifts, because it's gonna take everything and then some for you to prepare to beat me, because there's only one badass in WWE, there's only one meaner than evil, there's only one dog, and that is me. In a video, AEW star Darby Allin can be seen dragging his brother in a bag with an ATV. Reflecting on her match against Willow Nightingale at AEW Double or Nothing, where she won the TBS title, Mercedes Moné told TMZ Sports, "I mean, Willow's the one that I suffered my injury with 1 year ago. It took me out for a whole year. The doctor said they're not sure if I was going to be back in wrestling, but I told them, no, this is my life. This is my dream. Nobody can tell me, no, I can't do it. So I fought so hard to get back, and Willow had something that I wanted, and I told her that money changes everything. This past Sunday at Double or Nothing, we went out there and we stole the show. We tore it out of the park. She is legit one of the best that I've ever been in the ring with. I definitely can't wait to tie it in the ring with her again. Mercedes would also be asked if she wanted to confront Stephen A. Smith, to which she replied, "I'm wearing green for a reason. We are the city of champions for a reason. There's a reason why I picked the boss in Boston. Stephen Smith, whatever his name is, he wants to say that Jaylen Brown has a big ego. He has a big ego. He can't even be a superstar. I've done and dealt with haters my whole career. Jaylen Brown goes out there and shows that he is a champion every single game. So just prepare for another championship from Boston Bay, because we're going to go out there and we're going to get it." Oh, he's Stephen A. Smith, about to get bankrupt. That's for sure. In a clip posted to X, Drew McIntyre could be seen at WWE headquarters and even took a shot at CM Punk.
This is your job. It's a new headquarters. We've got this technology. I want this to be the first thing people see is big stupid face when they walk in the door. Can we do it? Ah, there it is. You're a genius. This is why you get the big bucks. That's art, man.
Expressing his disappointment in MJF re-signing with AEW as opposed to potentially joining WWE, former WWE star Matt Morgan said on the Gigantic Pop podcast, "I get you want to be the superhero of AEW. You want to be the biggest fish possible in the smallest pond possible. You're bigger than this, MJF. You could be the biggest fish there. I wish he would have went there. I really do wish he would have went to WWE, because he is a talent that not could have just swam. I think he could have sharked on people. I think he could have ate tons of people in that company on promos, on the microphone, and in the ring, that company being WWE. I really wanted to see him go there." With a few contracts in WWE reportedly set to expire soon, another has been added to this list, as it was said that shortly after Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp and Corey Brennan reported that Angel Garza's WWE contract was set to expire on August 1st, we were able to confirm that Humberto Carrillo's contract is also set to expire on the same day. When it comes to the WWE contract status of Chad Gable, Ringside News wrote that, as previously reported, Chad Gable's contract will expire on June 7th. On the June 3rd episode of WWE Raw, it was announced that Chad Gable would face Sami Zayn at the Clash at the Castle premium live event scheduled for June 15th. Speaking about Alpha Academy leader Chad Gable's contract and the upcoming title match on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed the factors that could influence Gable's decision to re-sign with WWE. He noted that Gable winning the Intercontinental Championship would be a big factor in Gable re-signing with WWE. I could see Gable winning. It would have to be tied to negotiations. I don't see them putting the title on Gable with his contract expiring, and his contract is expiring and he hasn't signed a new deal. That's a good pressure, because we're giving you the biggest push of your career, which they are right now. Obviously, they don't want him to leave, and he's doing really great. So I think there's a good chance that may be the determining factor if he signs or doesn't sign. They got both ways they could go. I would put the odds relatively small of the idea that he would leave. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.